Welcome to the Wedding Crashers Podcast. One more episode with Beau Ridge. Today's topic, education.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Wedding Crashers Podcast. My name is Ted. This is Tommy, my co-host, and Mike. Today our special guest is... Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Beau. I'm a Sagittarius, and no, I'm kidding.
Yikes.
Hi, welcome.
I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm actually a Libra. I was on Sagittarius because they released all the what the serial killers were, and like they're all Sagittarius or something like that. Like, you know.
Wow, that sounds
so
interesting.
This is
factoid.
where I take my
I'm a Libra. There were no Libras. I'm just saying.
0.50. We just had you on the last episode. It was awesome.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your businesses? Like, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, we have a photography brand that encompasses video a little bit as well. We have an education brand, and recently we bought equity ownership of a clothing store. Actually, it's clothing, metaphysical, stuff like that. So, three different things.
Metaphysical clothing.
Metaphysical, yeah. It's graphic tees, essential oils, crystals and things like that. Yeah,
Sage.
Yeah. Yep. When you walk into the stores, it's just like, oh, this is great. Like no matter what.
Edibles.
Ironically, that's a whole other conversation. We are looking into the CBD oil realm and start carrying it this year. For
You know
our
what's
festivals
funny?
and stuff.
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah. Go ahead. You go ahead.
At the Philly show across from us this year. The show this year across from us.
What show, Mike?
The Philly show.
People don't know what that is.
The Philadelphia Bridal Expo this year in 2018. We were there. There was a CBD.
It's 2019.
That show hasn't. It was.
Womp, womp,
It happens in January every year.
It's the first weekend of January.
Yeah, it is.
All right, never mind. I'm not telling you my story. You don't get to hear it.
Well,
I'm
Mike
willing
wanted
to
to
bet
say
there were CBD oils across the way from
There
you
was.
guys.
The-
Look
yeah,
at that.
the
I
story-
solved that.
The story that Mike botched. Yeah, there was a CBD oil, Anderson Windows, and a
Why
few
are
other
you yelling?
people.
Yeah,
I'm not yelling. This is how I
you
talk.
see a lot is the
Windows.
windows at the Bridal
Right.
Shows. We actually just did the Atlantic City show, and the conversation was like, why are they here? Well, people are buying houses.
Right.
I mean, they wouldn't be doing it
Liberty
if
Mutual
it didn't
was
work.
Liberty Mutual was right next to us, and I asked them that, and they're like, "Yeah, people are buying houses. They're going to be combining insurances. They're going to be doing all this stuff." So that's why we're here.
I've seen banks do it
Cool.
too. Yeah, where they, this way you can do your joint account, or you can merge accounts,
Retirement.
retirements. I think FA would be doing a great job at something like that. It'd be a good place to talk about, your future together.
Yeah.
Type thing. So,
Yeah.
educate yourself.
We're educating each other right now.
Yeah.
What are the different educational brands you guys have?
The education brand it's called the Art of Six Figures. I'm the quiet partner in it, more on the operations and the back end. And the first course that we have a few different options with the education, but it was based off of, and a lot of people actually we get asked now, it's like, wow, you guys, we've actually been around for a little while, but our approach was less, we are successful, here you go. It was more of a let's utilize that, but at the same time we're testimonial driven, we are fact driven. That was a big pain point that we identified, where people were saying, I don't know who to learn from. Everyone's telling me I need to do this, this, and this, but I don't believe they're actually doing it. So, okay, that makes sense. So we talk to individuals that are consistently, and we work with individuals, and when we started this whole program, we're consistently achieving their business goals, and then we used that experience to create programs. Our big program that saw extreme success was our Facebook, our social media marketing course. And the big problem that we saw where people were saying, I feel like it's just, I took this Facebook, it doesn't work. Facebook doesn't work. This ads course doesn't work. Well, that's because the courses that they were looking at were the same regurgitated bullshit slapped with a new label.
Right.
And it was, hey, you know what? You can do this number. Well, there was nothing backing that up.
Right.
It was just,
Speculative.
So exactly. So we went a different route. We took our time. We predicted some of the changes that Facebook was going to happen, addressed those issues ahead of time, gradually released it, and identified some of the issues that came up with our approach, because we did do things a little differently, corrected those issues, and then continued trickling it out. And our entire thing is all testimonial driven, and we're using real people. Really, you can click on the person and say, "Did you really do this? How did you do it?" And then we created a community within our private group where everyone helps each other. and it's all experience driven. So it's a very, very it's an amazing ecosystem that is almost self-sustaining because people are constantly making changes, and it's not I have to email tech support. We're always here to help, but for the most part, you have an entire community of people who have had success in this particular thing, and they made some tweaks. The big one is with Boudoir. How do we create copy and imagery that you can promote?
Right.
Well, we have an entire community that did so. I mean, actually, the one person, Andy, who some people know, he did. You're talking like crazy numbers, and it's not just oh yeah, sure, you did crazy numbers, good for you. No, the whole thing is documented. Like it's literally here's where it is. Here's the proof as we went along. It's screen captures. It's everything. It's not just I did good. Well, that's the problem everyone had was they're constantly hearing this works for me. Well, it works for you. And maybe it is working for you. I don't know. That's the big concern. So we decided to approach it more from the general aspect. This way, it can be applied to more people, different situations, different regional effects. There's a lot of different aspects that go along with it. And then this upcoming year, the big one is we took IPS and flipped it on its ass end.
Nice. Yeah. Before we get into that piece, I think it's funny, and a lot of people in our industry haven't experienced other industries. Right? This is where they're starting out, which is, I would say, it's probably one of the most difficult things to start out in and do correctly.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shit muddying the water. But to me, a lot of the education that's out there feels like a lot of the sales. Like in other industries, here's how to sell. Here's how to learn sales workshops where it's like this is work. This is how we close this. This is how we close this. And like you never know which one's actually going to work.
Which one's going to fit you?
Right. I work for a major corporation that has brought in leadership training that every 3 years or 5 years we change leadership training models, right? So it's like, oh, this is how we're gonna model our leadership. This is how our organization's gonna be effective. And then in 3 years, like, nope, here's the new big one, right? And we bring that in. It's like it feels like that. So having something that's truly fact based, that's really
it's not just this is not the flavor of the week type thing.
That's what people want.
And it's gonna, but it's also that's where we built the community too.
Right.
It is constantly evolving. And it's real time evolving from real people making the real choices and the real decisions and the real changes. And you build a community around that. And it's actually quite nice. It's actually part of it is the people who've purchased the course are part of this premium community. And we found that it's better to have that than just this open community.
Right.
Because the open community, you get a lot of unsolicited, uneducated people making, comments based off of not their own experience, rather what they heard, or they're basing it off experience that didn't work, and they'd rather it be successful than be honest.
Right.
When you get into the paid communities, the people that are actually committed to it, it is a whole different game. It is a whole different animal, and you see that even with people. Think about the people who purchase, your wedding services. If you're giving it to someone, they take it for granted. It's really not going to be the better person that is going to make a financial commitment.
It's so funny that you said that because a lot of times we'll see in groups like people will post polls like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Let's just say marketing. I think one we saw was about bridal shows. Bridal shows. And I saw a friend on there that put like your experience. And I was like, terrible, not worth it.
But how many bridal shows have you done?
Wait, hold on. It gets better. I reached out and I was like, hey, you're having trouble with bridal shows or what's going on? And they're like, oh, I've never done one. I just heard they're really bad. And I was like, but you just gave information to people about
why are you advising on something you shouldn't be advising on?
So when you know one person does that, you have to then expect the numbers just they don't add up.
And we again on the back end we've seen it.
Yeah.
You see it, and that's again also part of the whole thing started from there were so many people who said, oh, I went to this conference or I went here and I thought I was going to learn something, and instead they reiterated that they know nothing. And it's not that they know nothing.
Right.
They're sharing their experience, and they should rightfully share it. If they want to share, awesome, that's great. But who do I believe? What do I believe? And it was all right, I want to talk to, I wanted basically people wanted us to do the vetting for them, and then the point is you have to position yourself that people trust you, and you're not just selling. But at the same time you have to run a business, so of course there's going to be, learning curves. There's going to be experiences. There's going to be opportunities to learn about the potential people that are going to be purchasing the course or getting involved in the course where they do just want it for free.
Yeah,
right. But we learn that people don't value it. They just don't.
Well, what is
and then you really just dilute the quality of the education, people learning from each other, the community, the ecosystem that you create. So it's a longer approach, even with this sales system that we're working on. It's an experience-based sales system. It's been worked on for, I mean, the person who we partnered with, who created, years.
Wow.
And then over the past, it's been 6 months that we've been working on making it that it is more universally applied.
Yeah.
And it gets away from the emotional manipulation, like the pain points. People, the pain points of, they don't want to do in-person sales because, one, IPS has become just a bad word, but they don't want to emotionally manipulate. We're introverts. We're artists. I'm not a salesman.
Right.
Or, they don't have the capital to get the albums that are needed or the canvases that are needed to kind of create these tangibles that you need to share. And that in itself is a tough. Or another one is I don't know how to structure this. I have no idea. I was told that I had to do this, but there's no way to structure it. Yeah. So what we did with it was we identified, along with those who, again, the course content creators, identified some of these pain points. And she had already come up with a phenomenal system, and then to help her kind of actually it's a couple, Aaron and Marco, that helped kind of make it a little more universal and then get it out to the right people. And I'm hoping, and I said we're hoping. Right now we're coming up on our second round of beta. So that's another thing we do is we test. We get real world. It's not just here you go. Easton, who is my business partner in this.
Easton Reynolds.
Yeah, hey, what's up, E? I've never called him E, by the way. So just like right now, he's like, "What? I just got street cred."
Super fucking weird.
Yeah, he's probably rolling his eyes right now. He's sitting there and go, "Please don't, please don't, please." I'm waiting for text messages to come through.
Right.
Yeah, but it's being recorded.
This isn't live.
He knows. I know he knows. But anyway, it was he hears me say we need testimonials. Right. I want real testimonies from real people, good, bad, ugly.
Right.
You can't learn if you don't get feedback.
Yeah.
And I want the feedback. I want the people that are, seeing 1,000%, and then the people who are seeing 200%. Because that's where the long route. It's not just what you saw, which was I'm going to create a Facebook group, and then I'm going to call it education, and I'm going to start teaching. I just started seeing success this year, so I'm automatically no.
Yep.
I want to see that if you know anything about, statistically speaking, if you know anything about markets,
what's the statistic?
They change, and they constantly change. I want to know that you're able to change with them, or that the brand or the education you created evolves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can be continuously, successful. So that's why we went with the testimonials. You can reach out to people.
I love your take on the testimonials about actually getting the info from them. Damn it. Getting the info from them to tweak what you're doing. But on the flip side of that is we work in an industry where people seem to not understand the power of testimonials.
Absolutely.
Testimonials are everything.
Now, I'm going to bring up a really controversial topic right here.
Before we do that, let's finish that one and I'll swap out. And then okay, go.
There are certain awards that people get very butthurt about. In
Who cares?
Industry. Wait, but there's a lot of good science to back having things like that help.
Oh no, it's not. I'm one of those.
That's what I mean.
Do we? There are certain awards. Do we share them? Yes, because we share them we use it as a conversation point, as a feel good point.
There's a reason for it.
But see, I'm also one of those. I do not enter any contests. I think contests are just not for me. I personally think they're useless.
And there's people who want to
me.
Right, there's people who want to test their skill. Sue Bryce is one of them. She's an award-winning photographer. She submits this and talks to you about doing that, and that's right. And
there's a
and that's cool. That's awesome. There's people in our area that go to competitions and they're fantastic photographers, stuff like that. Do you know what that means to the client? No. Do you know what? Let's say your national award in photography means compared to my or Wedding Wire award.
They don't know.
The bride knows no fucking difference.
Yep.
One is nothing. One is amazing for skill, and it really means something in our world. There's no difference to the bride.
And there is. I'm not telling people don't do it, because if it actually does anything positive, if it does anything positive for you, do it. I'm all for positivity.
Yeah, my point to that was more of thinking like I don't understand people that get so angry over it because in a way you don't understand the way the psychology of business works. That there is a tangible value to that, even if
there is 100%
even
value.
if that contest
and even if it's just a
doesn't
feel
I
good.
think the argument is don't say you're an award-winning photographer if you got an award for something that's like
participation trophy.
Participation trophy.
I honestly wouldn't even get mad at that.
Why?
I don't. Yeah,
Why?
I genuinely.
Why do you get mad about
It's
that?
like the people who win some of these really big awards.
Right.
I'm happy for you.
But then
I
again-
genuinely am. Good for you.
Cool.
Just because it's not for me. If you want
like getting
to
published.
advertise, it's like getting published. I see people. They do like these. It's a pay to publish type thing.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna use a name, but it's like here I submitted my blog and then I paid for this program and then 100 of these people are.
That's a marketing tool and it's fantastic. Good
it's
for you.
Good for you.
It means
not a problem.
nothing.
I am
but to your client it does.
And I think people get a little they get a little backside hurt on it or butt hurt on it because there are people that are fart box hurt, that are actually published. And I look at the term published different because I own commercial photography studios and I shoot for some significant brands, and I look at published as an advert that went out or a billboard or something that was on a national. I mean, and there's different types. That's how I define publish. I do not look at this. I don't even the websites that share your blog. I don't even blog, so whatever. But like they share your blog post and that I got published here. If it is to you, fine. But they want to argue semantics.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Well, no. Here's,
It's like when you
here's
have the
who
people
cares.
we have the
Here's who
problem with-
cares.
But someone does care.
Your
That's
client,
the issue.
your clients care.
Your clients care.
So your clients
but
see
your
that and it
clients
means
don't
something
care
different.
if you've been published 1,000 times
Right.
or 10 times,
Right.
and they don't care
Why
where
wouldn't
it
you?
is.
So the people who are getting upset, why wouldn't you use every tool at your
Oh,
disposal?
yeah, no, I say use
to
it.
get your clients.
I say
to say,
I say
wow,
do
this
it.
is a credible person. I'm going to use them.
Yeah,
That
do
is
it.
my
Do
point.
it.
Right.
And you know what? There's always going to be in the industry. There's always going to be, and they have every right to sit there. And this is the fun conversations. I call it the bar talk.
Right.
We in the industry should be able to just half seriously shit on certain things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then at the same time have other ones. It's when
But-
someone actually gets really butthurt.
Yeah.
Like, no, that is an award. And they like,
Don't hit the table, please, Jesus.
I know. The bar already popped off again.
Oh my God.
The one that
Goddamn.
Or the ones who's in there and
He-Man
say,
over
this
here.
is absolutely useless. If you share it, you're a piece of shit. Who fucking cares?
That's so that's the one that gets me, and I think it's because I only ever see it when it's someone that like just started out. They don't know. They're really happy about this.
Good
And
for
someone's
you.
like
You're
dude.
you suck because you didn't win a real award. What's a real award? Come on.
Or maybe
There were 10,000
if you're
10,000 entrants.
an award-winning, real national award-winning photographer, and you're pissed off about somebody sharing a Wedding Wire award, what are you worried about? What are you worried about?
Broke the rule.
What are you worried about? What Wedding Wire?
We're not
No,
saying
You
what the awards
said
are.
you said
I
the
think
names.
they're like
What? Why?
That's
All
what
right,
we
so
can
you're
actually talk about.
if you're getting
We
a
can
prize,
talk about
if you're
we
in
can
a
talk about Wedding Wire
if
versions
you're
or
a
not.
national award-winning photographer and you're worried about a pay-to-play or a
cares?
participation trophy, so what are you worried about? Though?
Well,
What are you worried about?
now we get into the idea of what is
Right.
success and what is not success, and this gets people really butthurt.
Guys, while
how
we're
do you
at it-
define it?
Well, while we're at it, why don't we just get into the topic of what is real and what isn't real?
I'm faster than you and your buttons.
Hey, by the way, they're
I like
not.
this one better.
By the way, we win the beep beep award every year. We don't pay.
What's that?
Like if we're saying,
I think we can say actually what it is.
No, Wedding Wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you
Okay,
say Wedding
whatever.
Wire?
Well,
Wedding Wire.
I think
Wedding
everyone
Wire.
has their
Wedding Wire.
Wedding
Wedding
Wire.
Wire.
Wedding Wire.
Wedding Wire.
The knot.
We're running out of time. By the
The
way.
knot.
Mike,
So many people make that. They say that to discourage people. They say, "Oh, they paid for that." That's not true. You just
Yeah,
got
they
you
paid
got
for
10.
Well,
reviews.
even it's nothing.
10 reviews.
If people, I have clients ask us,
Yeah.
what is that? I openly tell them, but
got
then you
reviews.
quickly follow it up with, "Well, I still use it." Like,
Right.
who cares? It is
Getting 10
it is
positive
a
reviews
market. It is one.
It's an important thing. That's
it's
good.
positive reviews. Who cares what it is? If they're fake reviews, fine. If you and that's another thing is like,
well,
do you
that's the
need?
problem,
If you feel the need to do that, fine.
Yeah.
Right.
You're genuinely. I do not care enough about your shit
Right.
to worry about my shit.
Real quick,
think that's
back
what I was
to
getting at.
back to the education piece though.
Oh, yeah,
so
let's take it back.
so we're talking
Bring it
about
on back.
no, but this is talking about
Bring it back,
legitimacy,
bring it
right?
back, bring
The awards and stuff like legitimacy of somebody, right? What is something that you would say
Funny enough,
for
we came up with
students?
our own award.
Right.
Just came up with our own award.
Right. What is something that you would say?
But our award is $10,000 if you use the program to make $10,000.
You're legit.
That's awesome.
It's not legit. It's just an encouragement.
What is something you would say to students or to people who are looking to find an education program that they should be looking for in an education program? Things to look out for, things to actually look for.
I really like education programs that have been around for a while. I like education programs that people are genuinely excited for.
Right.
Those are things I like. I like testimonials. I like when people talk when you have non-cult oriented education programs that we all know.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we all know. Okay.
Wait, what?
So delete.
No,
I like
good.
programs where I like the testimonials. Again, we based our program on what we like, and some people don't like that, but we really listened. Like we reached out and did a ton. We A/B test everything, A, B, C, D, E, F, X. Like we're through it all. Not that type of X, but
also that type.
But also that type,
This type of X?
Oh God. But I like programs that, again, I look at longevity. I look at I want proven.
Right.
And I don't want again, this is where we talk about the idea of what is success. Everyone's definition of success is different. For me, art is subjective. Success is not. It's something I've said for years. And people go, well, I'm not talking about your personal success.
Right.
If you're happy, you are personally successful.
Right.
If you do not learn how to compartmentalize your personal life and your business, then you can never actually give an honest opinion.
Right. So
if you can, I measure education the same way I'd measure business. Is it a success? It is, statistically speaking. Is it ones and I'm looking at the ones and zeros of it. I'm looking at the binary aspect.
Yeah.
It is measurable. And then again, I want the customer service side, because customer service is very relative to a business success. But people go, well, you can't put monetary value on that. No, you can. If a business is doing well,
fucking watch me.
Yeah, if its ratings are up, its customer service is up, the business is going to be doing better. Right. This is universal. So I look for things like that. I want it to be effective. I want it to be useful.
Yeah, not to be nerdy or anything, but I always picture businesses kind of like video game characters. In video games, they have like stamina, strength, all these circles, and we often have people that they only focus on one with their business. Why would you not take the whole thing and
look at everything
as possible?
There is a big picture, and that's what separates as you grow. Even as a business owner, but they look at it as you grow. As a team member, you have someone that's going to be a little more frontline oriented, someone that's going to be more supervisor oriented, getting into your manager, getting into your executive management. As you move through the ranks of a business, your perspective changes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of supervisors that are trying to everyone's focused on being an industry leader. Right. I'm more worried. I like the people, I think we said in the previous one, I like the people who aren't worried about being an industry leader.
Right.
I like the people who I don't want to be in front of the camera. I found someone that is awesome, that has the personality and can convey a message super, super well. Actually, we found a few people. I'm okay being here. And I've had people say to me, if you want to be an industry leader, you need to do this. I don't want to be an industry leader, and I don't care what you tell me. I don't have to be. Or if I want to help the industry, I don't need to do shit. I can then advise and say, here's how I think it would be beneficial to the masses, but that doesn't make me. I don't need to be a front man. My ego's not that fragile.
Right. Speaking of the front man, so I took when you guys
Speaking
were
of the
first
front man?
trickling this out,
Yeah.
I took the course from you and Easton that one day. It was a really fun day, 7 hours of
Oh dear God!
And he didn't use any of it.
No, I did.
No, that was the original business with Beau, and it was just me ranting for fucking 3 hours.
It was fun. We had food that day too.
Yeah. I bribed him. I bought dinner.
Can we make that a parody show on our network?
Just gray hair, just like
Easton talked a lot about the startup and how he got the ideas and this stuff. So a lot of our listeners specifically are not just for wedding photo or wedding video. They're doing a ton of other stuff, which Easton, when he said he started this course up, he went to other places, other business types to learn their marketing strategy.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And he told a story like most photographers go to WPPI or some of these big conventions and they say, oh, this photographer's amazing. I'm going to go learn how to have a better business. I'm going to take better photos. I'll make more money. Like just a natural progression of how they think their business is going to go. They go to these workshops. They learn about photography in a lot of ways. Come back and the business isn't growing based on that. Yeah. And so I love
their skill set approach to it. The business doesn't.
Yeah. Like I love Easton's approach to it is like, hey, there's other businesses. They're doing amazing jobs at marketing, growing the business, making lots of money. Let's learn from all of this and then use it for our photography stuff. But also
business in general is universal. It is a universal language. It is the best thing about it is it's like math.
You just offended so many people.
I know.
Watching.
But that's something you don't have to take out.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it is a universal thing. And people go, oh, well, no, specifics. You want to talk specifics? Seriously, go sit in the corner. I mean, I don't want to. You want to try to find an argument. Find an argument.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I knew we were.
That's
going
what you need. That's what you need.
We've been there.
But like,
we did a whole episode on who put nobody puts baby
go
in the
sit off
corner.
to the side. Talk, because I don't care what business. I talk to business owners, all shapes and sizes.
Absolutely.
You are the sum of the people you hang out with. I hang out with the most successful individuals in the world, and Ted.
Only
and
two
then,
of them.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. And then you fools right here.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I'll
That
get you
was
some.
good. I like that one.
No, but I choose to hang out with people like that because that's business is an education. There are a lot of universals. The moment we try to justify our existence or our narrative to fit what we're learning or to fit business, those are where we see, and everyone, even those who justify it, they're the ones who they roll their eyes at each other. That's the worst part. Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's another thing we see with the education. I find people's egos are so not shallow or so fragile that in groups they do have one demeanor, and then behind closed doors they actually are rather intelligent. They seek proper knowledge, but for some odd reason they don't want to be the person that admits that they're
wrong.
Taking our on the back end. I see people that take our course that will openly talk shit like. But you signed up. Like what, or someone that'll, I've had with the education aspect will sit there and, do not like certain approaches to maybe my approach for business, but then we'll spend an hour on the phone asking me questions about, and I can either sit there and say, screw you, or just, you know what?
I think that's
it's still a chance to still a chance to help.
So many people want to appear like they know everything that they'll come up with an opinion even on something they don't know, instead of just saying, you know what, I don't know. I don't know. Find out.
Yeah.
It's funny, so professionally, as my day job, I'm an instructor, right? I teach professionally and figuratively, statistically, all politics aside, I'm an instructor.
I don't mean to offend.
And
I don't want to offend you, but
I do job training pretty much. That's basically the short version
People
of what
listen
I do.
to you?
Yes. So I teach individuals who have been doing this job for 35 years.
Yeah.
You think I'm the expert? No, they're the experts. And I have to be able to stand up there and say, this is new information, this is what it was. And when a question's asked, I can't bullshit it. I gotta say,
no, you shouldn't bullshit.
I gotta say, I have no idea.
What, fake
I don't
it till
know.
you make it? That is the biggest crock of shit.
But my
ever.
answer is always, I don't know. Let me find out.
Yeah,
that's what it should be.
And that's how you learn as well, or you spend a week learning about, I don't know, the Red Army, whatever you were, I do the same. Actually, now I'm gonna learn about the Red Army a little more.
What are you talking about? Oh, the Joe Pesci thing?
I'm gonna learn all about Joe Pesci.
That's from Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, that's
shout out to Aziz.
Shout out to Aziz. What's going on, brother? Hey.
Oh, he's coming on, right?
Yes.
He's up next
week. That'd be dope.
With his tour bus.
Damn, he just canceled.
Aziz just texted. He's not coming.
But that's the approach. And actually, it's funny. At the end of this month, talking about you always are learning. At the end of this month, I haven't done a stylized shoot in like 4 years just because I hate stylized shoots.
Again?
But we know it's going to be a tweak. I have the amazing Jen Ludwig and James Webb coming to show my team their creative approach.
Nice.
Love them.
And it's just
they're both fantastic. Yeah.
They are amazing, and we're turning this. We have a really good relationship with the Claridge in Atlantic City, so they're literally giving us their hotel for 3 days. So we're gonna do a bunch of stuff, and you're always learning. You should, no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
And you talk about
invite, bro.
There's a conflict of interest there. There might be a conflict issue.
Get better.
Yeah. But
We would like to have both of them on the show someday.
and again, they are just phenomenal, just industry, in my mind, industry leaders, especially local industry leaders. So many look up to them, including myself. There are photographers that but that's that compartmentalizing. I can look up to one person for this and another person for this.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I will talk to other people and be like, how the hell did you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? That is so, what is your process? And I love that as a creative.
And looking at it from a different perspective, the people like yourself and that are doing successful, you have no reason to
who do you think you are?
You have no right. No, you have no reason to, other than, I mean, what I'm getting to is there is a reason, but right off the bat, there's no reason to help people. You're already doing well.
Yeah,
but
there are things that are proprietary knowledge
pieces,
and stuff like that you just don't
share, right? But the piece of it is, like, we've been talking about this. We have more business coming in than our teams can handle, and we need qualified and educated second shooters or lead shooters and things like that. And helping other people eventually helps us, right? Yeah. So we've talked about, all right, so how are we going to educate? How are we going to do this stuff? Even coming up with like ideas like what's important on a wedding day. That's where
your SOPs come into play.
Right,
things like that. You know, then this is where we choose to do things a little differently. Those who control the flow of the day are going to be your primaries, and this is why we choose not to. Because legally, you cannot tell your associate how to. If you do an associate program, not knocking associate programs this time around, but you know, this episode. But if you are doing that, there are logistics that you can't do.
Right.
And the moment you do it, you cross a line.
Yeah, because you're telling them what to do.
Yeah, now you're not a contractor, but that's why our leads we do it a certain way, and just in our way, for us it's effective.
Is this fucking table falling apart?
Yeah. Who bought this table?
I think though one really good thing you keep bringing up, because this is exactly what I think that you could learn from everyone, and it goes back to so many people live in like a zero-sum world where if someone is right, someone else has to be wrong.
Yes,
and that's not really it. You could learn.
There's a lot of gray. There is a lot of gray out there. Especially here. There's a lot of gray.
So
I'd rather have gray.
To his point about the subcontracting thing, it's so funny. I work weddings with him, right? And I'll ask him a question like, hey, how do you want me to do this? He's like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, I hired our company. That's for a multitude of reasons. I will answer questions on the technical side. Right. We all have our strengths. Some of my strengths are I'm really good with off camera. Yeah. Not maybe crazy creative off camera, but I'm really good with the technical side of off camera. Right. I happen to be good with the business side of things.
Right.
People ask me, how do you tell me what's your storytelling process? I reverse engineered something I saw. Like I don't. I'm not gonna. I can't claim to do that at all. Like no. What do you do for family photography? I don't. No. How do you? I don't.
Oh, I'm right there. I have people.
But I can tell you how to light something with like a 4 light or a 7 light. I just did one with the NAS. An 8 light setup on a plane.
Airplane. Yeah.
It's so funny you said that. I have people ask me, like family friends stuff like that, ask me to do like kids photography or a newborn or stuff like that. Technically, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I go, no. Nope.
I'm just not. I'm because not as effective.
I creatively shut down on those. I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
Well, was it a jack of all, master of none type thing?
Right.
Careful, this table's a little one. But I want.
Yeah, you're breaking the table with your pinky.
Fucking Bobo table.
I was saying we should do a promo of Beau just staring at the camera, saying photography buzzwords that'll piss people off.
It is
IPS.
Like IPS.
Yeah.
Business.
IPS.
We're doing
Sales.
We're doing
light.
Success.
Insurance.
Tune in to get offended by Beau.
Taxes.
5 minutes of me just saying trigger words.
We're doing this.
How do we?
I did not mean to go there,
guys. How did we get here?
How do you get everyone to hate me? You pretty much just play through. That's kind of just how it goes.
If we want people to hate Mike, we just have them comment on Facebook.
I've done like
I've done large practice. Here's my answer. I'm going to be helpful. Let's hate Mike.
Yeah, well, I've done stuff where I've had some pretty large groups that have attended education pieces that I've been lucky to be a part of, and you'll have people sitting in the front row doing this.
Guys.
And you're like, what? I was all and like little things. And normally for me, what people don't like that I say
is your personality.
Is my personality. No, it's the I like to cite fact.
Right.
I am a fact-driven person. I am a numbers-driven person. Yep. It's A plus B equals C. The law says this. The insurance says this. The accounting says this. This is what it is. It's not a matter of opinion.
Right.
My opinions are very fact-based. And then, like anyone, your opinion should be two things. Fact-based or experience-based. That's my thoughts. Here's what worked for me.
Yeah.
Here you go. Unfortunately, people, as you said, there's no sub-levels. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. And it's I don't do it to be offensive. I don't do it to, and I genuinely, truthfully, I just don't care. It is. It's like I don't care. There are times when I care about offending people. I don't want to offend people for just real issues. True hate, true disrespect, bullying, things like that. I can't. I've been through a lot of things where I will gladly stand up for anyone, for anything, especially when it's right. But there are other things where it's become cliche. It's a joke where it's just people get upset over things that you're not making something up.
Like awards.
Like awards.
I don't get upset over it.
I'm not talking about you getting upset. I just there is one thing.
If it comes from I find if it comes from a genuine place. There is going to be some negative. There's always going to be some backlash. I'm not sharing opinions on something because it's just how I feel. This is what it is. I'm sorry. It might sting a little bit, but it's not going to change.
Right.
And then you ask my opinion on something. I have a tendency to. Truth be told, a lot of people. I shared a lot of the same opinions with people when it comes to actual opinion, not fact-based.
Right.
Well, fact.
This would be great, but the fact is,
this would be great. I love the idea that if you want to, I jokingly say the sky's not purple.
Right.
Well, we're photographers, videographers. Sometimes the sky is purple. I can gel that bad boy and make it any color I want.
Right.
But
white balance.
Yeah, exactly. But there are times where this is just reality, and if you try, I want people to not fight it because I know it ends up not working. You can't. If you get audited and you're just you're breaking the rules.
You're breaking the rules.
You're breaking the rules. It's not. You can't say to the auditor, "Well, that's what I was told to do by this person."
Right.
What are you talking about? Or the person that again is doing something where they're not allowed in their home.
Yeah.
Well, I was told this. The cops aren't going to care. The prosecutor's not going to care. The insurance auditor or the adjuster, they're not going to care because basically, and that's part of the problem that they could do more damage than good, and you'll never have a chance to recover. And it's something that you didn't have to put yourself in the position to start with.
Yeah.
Artist Six Figures. What's the new IPS thing coming up called?
I think it's part of that, isn't it?
Yeah. We're doing an EBS course, and again, it's geared towards those who don't like the emotional manipulation.
Right.
We have some extremely amazing partnerships with some printing companies. So you basically get you get some of your collateral that you need included.
So
but we identified some of the pain points. We have some of the great. We've actually partnered with some really, really amazing software companies as well that structure everything for you. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to identify some of the pain points that happens with the current sales systems that are out there, and simplified it and made it so it's more geared towards creatives, less geared towards someone that needs the salesman personality.
Right.
You don't need it. And again, the big one I said is the emotional manipulation stuff where people are always terrified of buyer's remorse and things like that. We don't want that. We want to maintain these relationships with these people.
Yeah,
I want them to feel good.
Yeah, we always said we never.
And it's realistic. It's not like, I did $10,000 in sales today.
Right.
Cool.
Good. I'm super happy you did that. But you know how many people can do that?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. And it's also, there's a lot of chances for hybrids. Some of our businesses does IPS. For the most part, we don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a wrong way.
No.
I didn't know if you know this or not, but you can't be successful without IPS.
I know. I've actually had that argument.
And to bring to that point, we have guests coming on that are going to talk about the benefits of IPS.
And they're great benefits.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're all open-minded.
And it fits your business. That's awesome.
And just like you said, I have businesses that one does IPS, one does not.
Yeah.
Right? And that's
exactly
perfect. That's okay.
And it works towards my clients.
Right.
Because where I'm located, how our business is structured, who we market to, it's going to be different.
And we always say the most important strategy we have is we don't sell. I don't sell anything. Here's what we have. Here's what we are.
But
whatever you want.
We also, to a degree, do. You have to. You have to be able to connect in one way or another.
Correct, but it's not emotional manipulation. It's not any of that kind of stuff. We're just this is how we are. We try to provide an experience, and we're going to give you the best that we can.
Which is funny because we study sales hard.
There's nothing wrong with studying sales. It's an education.
A lot of the
piece.
techniques of it become second nature. It's the way you communicate with people.
Well, there's some things that where people, like they have certain approaches. Which I don't agree with. In sales, it's the ABC. I don't believe in always be closing.
No, because it's well,
again, it's to each their own. Some have a wonderful system and it works for them and awesome.
Always be closing.
Well, I'm just saying,
coffee is for closers only.
Always coffee. Yeah, always be coffee.
Coffee is for closers only. That's not
they
how
don't deserve it
talks.
otherwise.
It's from that though.
You may have tap water until you sign a contract.
That's a great movie.
But that's what it is, and I think the big thing with education. Is to find what's going to work for you.
Yeah,
that's another thing. As I said in the first segment about the first year in photography, I discourage people with when I do mentorships. I tell people you don't spend the money you make in your first year. You save it because by the end of the first year, you're gonna have a better understanding of who you are and what your business needs and where you want to take things, and then you will have the ability to do so instead of digging a hole.
Right.
And then trying to get back out, because playing catch up is never a way to do business.
No, absolutely not. And hey, dude, it was awesome talking to you again. We're running out of time.
No worries.
But it was amazing having you on here. Ted's got a question for you. Nope, not that one.
Not that one. If you do the book question again.
If people want to connect with you, how do they find you on the internet?
With us, theartistsixfigures.com. So
Awesome.
that's the word, not the letter. I'm sorry, not the number. The letter of the word. But ironically, if you go to the number 2, we get forwards too. Yeah, we have that taken care of.
That's great.
But yes, theartistsixfigures.com. We're actually going to be at WPPI this year. I believe Easton's teaching a masterclass. And we're also sponsoring a diversity panel.
Awesome.
Where we have photographers from all throughout the country coming out to sit down on a panel and to discuss what they find works in their specific demographic and their specific situation. Because that's a big part of it too, is, with success, it is going to be dependent on your background. It's going to be dependent on where you are. It's going to be dependent on how you've been brought up. There's a lot of different, where you connect with society. Right. So we like to have a bunch of different people that can bring a ton to can literally bring a ton to the table, and can offer their experiences from, again, the multitude of backgrounds, to show that everyone can succeed. Everyone can be successful at this. There's a certain set of things that you should do, and then there's a bunch of stuff that is going to be unique, but follow your gut.
Great. Awesome, man. It was awesome to have you on again. I think I've said that a few times. It might have been awesome. Also great, but mostly awesome.
Was it great too?
In a matter, it was awesome.
Statistically, was this good?
But in the end,
all politics aside,
in the end, it was awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Everybody needs a montage.